Hello and welcome to Jumble Lane Model Railway. Today we're making a small gantry for a road sign. So what is the gantry for? Well, as you can see in the corner of the layout here, there is a scenic break, and we've used a mirror to reflect the vision or the object of the foreground to make it look deeper. So I'm going to make a gantry which will be like a border to that mirror, which will hide the edges of the mirror and just serve as a purpose to finish it off really. I had toyed with the ideas of things like trees, but then you've got a tree on both sides and that overhang over the top, which wasn't really in keeping with the area. Maybe one on the right of the mirror, but I thought, well, a gantry, I can always add a tree on the right afterwards if I need to. So we'll have a go and see what comes out. To start our gantry, we have four main pieces. We have the front of the gantry, and we have the top of the gantry. They are very similar, apart from one is not as wide as the other one, because that will be the front and that will be the top. We've also got two very similar uprights. One will be the front of the upright and one will be the side of the upright, and the side piece goes beyond the front part and up the side. The card that this is made out of is not very rigid, so to start with, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue one piece on top of another just to strengthen it. Right, so we've cut, well we've glued together as many as we need now. We are one of these short, but that was due to a failure when it was being cut on the machine. I had two pieces, one of these and one of these, which didn't cut through, and two or three of the centre pieces didn't cut out, but it'll be enough to go on with and to do what I need to do, and it will be in the back corner out of the way, and it probably doesn't need the strength at that point. So what we've got here, we've got two very similar pieces, that being the side which goes up the side of that. I don't know if you can see that. It'll go up the side of there. So it has to extend beyond the front face. What this means is that because these front pieces are wider than what these rectangles are, the top rectangle is very slightly bigger. So I'm going to attempt to do now, and all this is, I haven't made any of these, it's been done for the first time as we speak. So this could turn out okay, and it could turn out not okay. So we have the thinner one and the thicker one. What I'm going to do is the thinner one will go in between the wider ones. And the glue I'm using for this is the Rocket card glue, which is basically, I can only describe it as a super glue for card and paper. Excuse me. And it doesn't take much gluing. It doesn't. You haven't got a lot of movement in it, which can be a bad thing, but equally, when you need an instant grab, it can be a good thing. Just got to make sure you put it in the right place first time. This applicator is just a cheapo applicator with a very fine nozzle, which I picked up off, I can't remember if it was eBay or Amazon. I think I had a pack of 10 for about £2.99. So you could say they're almost disposable, but I do try and keep them clean enough to use over and over. So there we have one box girder gantry, and that will form the top. And what I'll do is I'll have the front face as the solid piece and the joins on the top and the bottom. And hopefully that will sit in there, which it does. So now we'll build the side piece. Make sure I get the right pieces glued together, because once they're glued together, that'll be it. Whenever you do a job like this, I suppose it's good to plan it sufficiently enough to know it's going to work. Well, I think I prepared myself for a fail somewhere along the line, because at no point have I tested this out. It's just a theory at the moment. Right, and this is where we've got to be careful, because we've only got 2.5 pieces basically. So do I put that single sheet as that piece, or at the back where it won't be seen? I think I'll put it as that piece, because it probably doesn't need so much strength there. So, and again, I'm thinking on the fly. I have to make sure that that is the longer one of the two sizes. And I think this glue is starting to dry in the nozzle. You've got to be careful, because although they're good little bottles, once the glue starts to dry and you start poking a bit of thin wire down the top to try and get it out, you start to loosen off the metal nozzle, and it does push through into the bottle, and that's it. Game over. But about 39p each, whatever how much they were. More or less a disposable item. These actual pieces of card were cut out using a Cricut machine. I suppose you could do the very same thing on a Silhouette Cameo. It's just a hobby cutting machine. comes vinyl, card, lots of different materials for the hobby industry. So there we have two uprights and the gantry. So that's going to sit there like that. So we'll put some glue. Where it's going to touch. Just hold it a few seconds. Clear the nozzle out, make sure it don't dry inside. Right, and we'll leave that to dry off for a bit because it is card and there is a certain dampness in the glue and it does stay soft for a while, and you can pull it apart because it just like soaks into the card. So although it has grabbed and it's difficult to move and everything else, it's still got a bit of a weakness where it's not exactly rock solid. So we'll give that a short while to dry off, and we'll come back in a bit and see what it's like. Okay, it has sufficiently dried now to put into position and just see what it's like. And as you can see, it looks pretty well in place there. And that leaves just two things, and one is, do we paint it, leaving it in the black, or do we paint it grey? If we do paint it, I think it's going to be best to be spray painted, and I do have some acrylic paint so I can spray paint, or I can just use tinned primer. See how that comes out. The other thing is it will need a road sign, obviously, to direct the traffic. And as you can see, well, you will be able to see if I pan out a bit. Just in the bottom left hand side there is like a pavement there, so I have to take into account the positions on the road where vehicles will be going, and basically in the middle of the gantry will be vehicles going away from us, and on the right hand side of the gantry, as we look at it, vehicles will be coming towards us, because this is a British layout, so that is the position of the traffic. So there we have the gantry, which has been sprayed up. I haven't given it a full coating to make it perfect, because what I want, a bit of the black showing through is like a bit of weathering. Refocus. So it does look a bit weathered, and it is basically viewed from a distance, so you're not going to see really close up, because it's right in the corner of the layout, and if you stood anywhere in the train room you won't get any closer than about 3 foot away from it. So I searched for a road sign in Barnsley on the internet, and I came up with a road sign with basically this information, and what I've done, I've copied it by redrawing it as it is. The one sign at the very bottom on the left, slightly different from what it looks like, and the brown sign is actually in between the two green signs, and it was like 3 vertically. So I've just spread that out a bit so it goes on the gantry a bit better. So what I've done, I've drawn it out, taken from the photograph, and I've printed out a 30, a 40, a 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90mm wide image. And then what I'll do is I'll cut some out, or I shall offer the, I'll do that now, can't I? Offer the gantry up and see which one would look better. And I think that one is too big. That one maybe. That one's probably favourite, and that one's a bit too small. So I shall cut that one there and that one there and see what they look like. So here we have the two signs cut out. A bit of glare off the light coming into the room. I'm a bit undecided whether it's that one or that one. If you remember me saying, basically the area underneath the gantry is divided into 3. You've got the left, which is the paved area. The road going out of that area is to the left, and the road coming in, traffic coming into the area, is to the right. So if we had it there, it would suggest that it's probably the right size. So I'll go with that. As I say, it's only card, I can glue it on. What I can do is, I suppose I can glue the smaller one on. If I don't like it, I can glue the one bigger over the top. So I think I'll try that for now. have the finished road sign. And there we have it in its place, in all its splendour. And I think you agree, that was a fairly easy little job. That looks the part and finishes it off. Thank you for watching. For the road signs, I googled road sign in Barnsley as this layout.
I found a few locations for road sign near Barnsley. The first one is tailor-made signs and banners at 210 Pontefract Road, Barnsley. The second one is S&S signs.
Google, stop.
At Business Centre, Thornton Road, Barnsley.
Hey Google, stop.